Here's hoping it doesn't take another 27 years to get the gang back together.
Thriving industry, great people. Just every 27 years, a clown comes and makes everyone kill themselves.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 It Chapter 2 cast moments.
Roses are red, you have a nice complexion. Have you ever heard of a staph infection? I hate myself.
For this list, we're looking at moments where the cast of It Chapter 2 made us wish we could join the Losers Club.
Well, don't give any spoilers away.
Well, it says it ends.
You just pointed to a sign that does not say it ends.
But the other poster says
Number 10, playing Name That Clown.
So this is your opportunity, boys. 2 years later, Name That Clown, Chapter 2.
Everyone in the It cast is naturally familiar with Pennywise, but Movie Phone put their knowledge of clowns to the ultimate test. In a game of Name That Clown, the cast had little trouble singling out the Joker, Krusty, and Ronald McDonald. The two that had everyone stumped, however, were the clown from The Brave Little Toaster and the bad guy from Air Bud, whom Jeremy Ray Taylor called his boyfriend.
Okay, this is another movie that you guys should know.
That's my boyfriend.
While most of the cast members recognized Bozo the Clown on the spot, Jessica Chastain assumed he was the OG Pennywise.
Jessica, you must know.
Is that the original Pennywise?
No.
Bozo. Bozo WGN.
Bozo?
Bozo.
To be fair, there is an eerie resemblance between Bozo and Tim Curry's incarnation.
I, Georgie, am Pennywise, the dancing clown.
We're not sure how she could have mistaken the clown from Inside Out for John Wayne Gacy, though.
Here's another animated one.
I can't think of one famous clown except
Jangle
for
the clown.
Gacy.
Gacy.
Casey's not in there.
Number 9, Bill Hader's James McAvoy impression.
And Bill, obviously you're amazing at impressions. Could you do your best impression of each other?
Bill Hader is a master of impressions, as demonstrated through his tenure on Saturday Night Live. As Kevin Wendell Crumb, McAvoy portrayed an entire horde of colorful characters. Given their diverse backgrounds, one interviewer asked Hader and McAvoy to do their best impersonations of each other. Hader actually does a pretty good McAvoy.
You said, well, you know, in the book with the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't read it. And you went, oh, I read the book.
Which escalates into a conversation about how everyone in the cast read the book except for Hader.
James read the book. And they're like, oh yeah, we read the book. And I was like, just like now, like recently? They're like, yeah, I got the job, I read the book. I was like, oh, I'm the worst.
In his defense, the book is over 1,000 pages long.
They go, you read it, right? And I was like, I didn't reread it. It's like 1,500 pages. And they're like, we all reread it. And I was like, oh.
McAvoy abstains from mimicking Hader, feeling he can't do it justice. But as a consolation, Hader explains how Fred Armisen impersonates him in a whiny voice. So basically, it's Hader doing an impression of Armisen doing an impression of Hader.
That's weirdly how you do an impersonation of Bryan Singer as well. We always
do like
T-Rex hands.
Yeah.
Number 8, talking about their worst fears.
So if you encountered Pennywise, what might he turn into to truly scare you?
Since the film's titular monster can take on any frightening form, it makes sense to ask the cast what scares them most. Speaking with Collider, the actors touch upon common fears like snakes and spiders.
Definitely a snake.
For me, it would be this guy, the spider.
Interviewer Perry Nemiroff pries deeper upon asking the cast about fears that could actually be motivating.
Oh, my fear of gaining weight.
Ryan says Donald Trump, while Chastain claims she could take on Pennywise.
I'm not so afraid of that clown.
No.
Talking a big game.
As per usual though, Hader steals the show. Somehow, the interview gets way off topic, with Hader impersonating Pennywise if he were a motivational coach from Rudy.
Rudy, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna turn into a big spider right now.
Hader even manages to work in a foul-mouthed impression of his disapproving father.
She asked you a very nice question. Just say spider, say snake.
If they do make an It Chapter 3, they'd better work in Coach Pennywise.
Like Coach Pennywise, that's the third.
Number 7, Finn Wolfhard getting Bill Hader the role.
Where'd you find this dude?
When Bill Hader landed the role of a grown-up Richie Tozier, it was immediately deemed a dream casting choice. Not only does Hader possess the comedic and dramatic chops for the role, but he kinda looks like an older Finn Wolfhard. Upon being asked who he'd like to see play Richie in Chapter 2, Wolfhard actually suggested Hader.
When they asked him, who do you want to play you in the sequel, because they all grow up, he said he wanted me to, and then I thought, oh, that's sweet, and my agent sent me a little clip of him saying that, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
When Hader first heard about this, he thought it was sweet, but didn't expect anything to come from it. The filmmakers took Wolfhard's recommendation to heart, however, as Hader scored a meeting with director Andy Muschietti only 3 months later.
They were like, hey, you got a meeting to meet with the director of It, and I was like, this Finn kid's like super powerful.
Oh my God. As Hader hilariously put it on The Tonight Show, Wolfhard has even more power than King Joffrey.
Bring him to me! Bring me the man who played Stefan. I want him to play me in the movie. Bring it in here!
Number 6, horror movie Would You Rather?
A horror movie Would You Rather?
Wow, good job.
Pop Sugar kicked off their interview in creative fashion, asking the cast if they'd rather endure a zombie apocalypse or be buried alive.
Buried alive, though, you're screwed. There's no way out. I think he dies. So I would say 28 days later.
In the next rounds, they had to choose between cleaning Bev's bloody bathroom again and Reagan McNeil's vomit-soaked bedroom.
I'd rather clean up the blood. It's probably easier.
Yeah, the chunkiness wouldn't be great.
Not my forte to clean up the vomit.
As well as between a safe room and a bulletproof vest on Purge Night.
A safe room. What?
Right. Safe room.
Why would you have what?
Speaking of the Purge, they were also forced to choose between a pack of purging killers or the Tethered from Us.
My doppelganger, I want to see that before I die.
The cast gave some especially funny answers when asked to visit either Carrie White's prom or Michael Myers' neighborhood.
Like, high school sucked, and like, who wants to go back to prom?
The most inspired question was saved for last, presenting 2 scenarios that almost guarantee death: Doritos or dishwashers? It is the age-old question.
I'm so good at opening chip bags really quietly.
Really?
No.
Number 5, playing Pop Goes the Losers. This interview is almost like something out of Saw, albeit not nearly as gruesome. Andy Muschietti asks the adult cast a series of trivia questions, most of which pertain to the film.
What is written on the 3 doors that sometimes confront the losers?
With every question they get wrong, a red balloon gradually inflates. As humorous as their responses are, this interview also leaves us on the edge of our seats as we contemplate what will happen next. Although the cast gets a few answers correct, it only takes 4 missteps for the balloons to finally pop. Fortunately, the balloon is not full of blood or anything like that. It bursts in the blink of an eye, but the action is slowed down from several angles to soak up each actor's reaction.
Not enjoy that.
Number 4, responding to comments. Reading a comments section can be like investigating one of Derry's storm drains. You are bound to come across something strange, disturbing, and maybe downright terrifying. In all fairness, though, comments can also be quite clever.
Damn, I wish someone thought of me the way Pennywise thought about those kids for 27 years.
Really? The IGN staff singled out some of their favorites to share with the It Chapter 2 cast. One comment was so shocking that Isaiah Mustafa dropped the iPad.
Oh, no!
What?
Another pointed out that this movie might be the most bizarre/amazing crossover ever, pitting Professor X and the Old Spice guy against the Joker.
Old Spice guy. Team up with Professor Xavier. He can walk!
A comment about Mrs. Kirsch resulted in a conversation about alternate takes that didn't make the final cut. We can only hope that these behind-the-scenes gems will be included on the film's home media release.
She would have to do stuff like this, like blah, 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 like all these like weird things.
Number 3, Bill Hader and Finn Wolfhard interview each other. When Glamour brought Hader and Wolfhard together for an interview, their chemistry was off the charts, which kind of makes sense since they play the same character. Their conversation starts off fairly chill, as Hader asks Wolfhard what it's like being a famous teen. Eventually, the interview veers into goofy territory, as Hader points out that Wolfhard looks like a cross between Andy Samberg and himself.
Tall, gangly, long hair. Kind of look like a cross between if me and Andy Samberg had a kid.
Putting the jokes aside, Wolfhard has some touching words for Hader, praising his talents and calling him a genuine person.
To find someone that you really truly admire for like the longest time and find out that they're actually cool is like a nice thing.
Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot. I mean, seriously, sincerely, that means a lot, even though we've been messing around.
Hader also compliments Wolfhard, which really makes us want to see these two together in a buddy picture.
I can't imagine the amount of pressure being at 16 and having all that happening. And I think you're handling it really well, but just keep that up.
Throw in Samberg and the studio would have a guaranteed hit on their hands.
I don't want to be friends. For serious.
Number 2, finding out which characters they really are.
We're here to take the which it character are you quiz.
Test.
Yeah,
Quizlet.
Quiz test.
Nice.
We all know who plays who in the film, but which characters would the cast be in real life? Both the adult and child losers find out by taking a BuzzFeed quiz. While their answers vary, most of them agree that hiding from Pennywise in a basement is ill-advised.
A basement? What crazy person runs to a basement to hide from a killer clown?
That's where you find Pennywise.
Reading off everyone's results, Ben Hanscom, Bill Denbrough, and Stan Uris ended up being the most common answers, while nobody got Beverly Marsh or Eddie Kasprak. Hader had the most in common with Mike, although he expected to get Bev.
I thought I was gonna get Beverly. I wanted to be Ben.
Who doesn't?
Determined Ben.
The only actors who lined up with the characters they played were Wolfhard, Ryan, and Taylor. Does that mean everyone else was miscast?
Yeah, well, I think the casting of Ben Hanscom was pretty good.
Well,
If I do say so
clearly there's
myself.
some competition. Maybe I would have been a good Ben.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Whose prom was ruined by a whole bunch of pig's blood?
Carrie.
Carrie. John Travolta.
Oh man, I got all this pig blood on me. It's so sad. Oh my God. You babe, who did this to you, babe? Tell me who it is.
Who can't be without their phone? Probably like Gaten. Oh, sorry, wrong.
Who's that probably like Gaten?
Wrong cast.
For Mike, we like Dennis Haysbert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like that's a good
I stood in
pair.
for him like twice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a green light right there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is too easy. This is too easy. The Incredible Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster. You're right, you're right. Should have known that.
You got everyone right.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, recapping the first movie. If you don't have time to rewatch the first movie before seeing Chapter 2, the cast has you covered.
Instead of going to Wikipedia and just reading a quick synopsis, I'm gonna listen to these two jackasses.
In an awesome Vanity Fair video, the grown-up losers are paired with their younger counterparts to recap the 2017 film's plot. By the way, Sophia Lillis seems like she's totally gonna grow up to be the spitting image of Jessica Chastain. Even if you've seen Chapter 1 several times, the interactions between the child and adult stars are highly amusing. They also provide some interesting behind-the-scenes trivia and insights into shooting pivotal scenes.
This is kind of where you get the feel that he's starting to be a little bit lonely, and the librarian is like, hey, you should get friends, and he's like, I don't really want them.
It's almost like a mini cast commentary of the film. The video even features the cast responding to social media posts, which always makes for a few good laughs.
When Beverly is missing, your squad is being terrorized by a demon clown, and you just found out that your pills are gazebos.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.